All right, welcome.
Hello, Angel.
Hi. Now, as I said, my name is Angel.
Mhm.
I'm speaking to you from Dallas, Texas, in the United States of America.
Okay. Right
So,
now, are you there?
yes, yes, this is my hometown. I'm always
Ah,
here.
okay. Generally, people from Cambly, especially from United States, they write down their hometown, like Dallas, Texas, or Philadelphia, or Chicago. But when we start speaking, I learn that they are right at that time in Nicaragua, in Thailand, somewhere
Somewhere
else in
across
the
the
world.
world. Yes,
Yes, to teach English to foreign students.
which is wonderful. Which is wonderful. I'm very impressed. And the website working with Cambly gives them that opportunity to maintain their employment and still travel wherever they want. So that's really wonderful. But not me. I'm
Yes,
still in Dallas.
uh, I never been in United States, so I don't have any information about Dallas. I just remember from 1980s a TV show called Dallas.
Yes.
That
Oh
that's
no.
all.
Everyone knows this show. Everyone.
It was so popular at
Oh,
that time.
and it's so bad. It's such a bad show. So if you try to watch it now, and I've tried to watch it. It's almost painful. It's very hard to watch. No offense
It was a
to the
it was an
creators.
American soap opera, and at that time, in my country especially, because in 1980s we have just one channel on TV, government channel, and you don't have any option to watch different things.
You're gonna watch
So
what's on.
yes. So everybody, I was a little child, but I remembered some parts, especially the bad guy JR, and
If you watch it
everybody in Turkey.
if you watch it now, it's almost
Mhm.
artistic how aged it is. So I say it's bad, but I can still appreciate what it is. I mean, it's a show from 40 years ago. So
Yes,
it's almost like a piece of artwork. You get to see these vehicles that no one sees anymore. I think everyone is smoking cigarettes through the whole show inside.
yes,
You can't do that here anymore. The clothes, the haircuts, everything is very aged. So it can be
yes.
interesting to watch. It's kind of funny, but
CEO of petroleum companies with a cowboy hat.
yes, exactly. Exactly. So tell me, what kind of TV shows do you like to watch if you're not watching Dallas?
Actually, right now, I like to watch. I don't have any specific type that I can describe, but I like science fiction. I like no detective stories.
Well,
I,
real or fiction?
it depends. If the story is good enough, could be real.
Hmm.
But if the writer has a good imagination, could be
Even
fictional.
fiction. Got it.
I didn't have any specific choice about it. If I like the show, I would continue.
Well, I always ask because some people have a type. They have a type of show and that's
Mhm.
what they watch every time. And I agree with you. I'm the same way. I watch a lot of different things, but I do like sci-fi. Um,
Mhm.
I've been watching Third Rock from the Sun. Do you know that show from the 90s?
Uh, can you tell again?
Third Rock from the Sun. I'm going to type it for
Ah,
you.
no, no.
It's an old
Third Rock
90s
from the
TV
Sun. No.
show.
Oh, really? Mm.
I don't think it might benefit your English if you want to, if you care to use it that way, but it would be in English and it's about aliens that come to Earth and they look like humans. It's just this comedy. It's a
Mm.
very silly sci-fi comedy.
Mm.
It's not too flashy as far as sci-fi goes. There's no ray guns or anything, but it's just a comedy. And I remember growing up watching it, so I like to watch it now.
I think the best comedy show about aliens was Alf.
Oh,
Do you remember?
yes. Yes. Again, you're bringing up really old shows. Alf.
Yes, yes.
You know
But
what?
it was tremendous.
I just saw Alf on one of my stream services just the other day, so I may have to watch it again just to see. It's been so long since I've seen anything like that. And let me see the cast. I think that I was just looking it up. It's not the same actor. The actor from, did you ever see the movie Harry and the Hendersons?
No.
It's about like Bigfoot, a big giant hairy Bigfoot creature.
No.
Okay.
No. I haven't watched.
I'm bringing up stuff that you can't, and you should look it up, I guess, if you'd like to watch it. Harry and the Hendersons.
Okay.
But it's a very silly movie.
Fine.
Type it if you ever want to look it up.
Was it sitcom?
So it was just a movie.
It's just a movie. Okay.
Just a movie. And it's got the same actor in it that's in Third Rock from the Sun. So if you had seen it, I was going to tell you that he's in that TV show. But, well, enough about TV shows, I guess. Except that, I asked what kind of shows you watch because I watch scary movies, comedy. I love comedy, and I like action movies. So it's a little bit of everything. Now, what's something that
Nowadays,
you watched?
If I find time and if I find chance to watch, I would like to watch The Man from High Castle because I love the book, and I really wonder how the TV show is.
I don't know it either.
Really?
No, I've never seen it.
The Man from the High Castle. It's, I think, Amazon made.
I'm going to look it up as well. So, yeah, I'm not familiar with it.
Check the real name. Yes, the man in the High Castle. Sorry, not from.
That's okay. It auto corrected. I typed from, but it changed it for me. So it looks like it's about history.
It's something fictional. If the Second World War ends with a different result.
I see, and I think I've heard about.
So how was the world would be?
Yes,
it is questioning.
That would be interesting to see. I'll have to watch that because I do love history. I love history. I like to read about history.
The country United States invaded by Japans and Germans.
Oh, wow.
Nazi Germans, and some people try to save the country. It's a different story. It's a story from Philip K. Dick, and who was my favorite writer.
I'll have to read it.
The book was awesome, and I wonder how the show was.
Absolutely. And I prefer to read the book first. So sometimes if I don't read it quickly enough, I take forever. I don't get to see the show or the movie. So there's always more to the book. I like the books better, but I'm sure the show is good. It looks interesting.
But some books, especially in science fiction, written in short form.
Mm-hmm.
Not a huge novel style. So if the director good enough, movie could be better than book. For example,
I wish.
Blade Runner.
I wish, but
for example, Blade Runner. The book was awesome.
Okay, I can see there. I can see
but it's a short book, and the study of Ridley Scott was, I think, better than book.
I can agree with you because, and you're absolutely right. If you have a crew that's passionate about what they're doing, so I'm sure that the director, he must have liked that story a lot. And so he got to express his creativity in that movie a lot. There was more room to work with. When you're dealing with such a big novel, like a science fiction novel, they have to cut, there's only so much time, so they have to cut so much out. And I can remember being disappointed, even as a child, with the Harry Potter movies. Because as a child, we read these books and we like focused so much on every detail. We loved it. And it took a little while, each chapter. And then you see this movie and they had to cut that book down into an hour-long movie, or just sometimes 2 or even 3 hours if they can. But you come out of the theater with a list of everything that they left out. And they're doing that for a lot of comic book movies now, even as adults. These grown men that have grown up reading these comics, they're leaving the theater going, that's not how it happened. I have friends that they will argue over how it was supposed to go, who fought who, and what happened, because they know passionately how this story went. So you're right. If you're dealing with a very short story, these people have an opportunity to express their creativity and make it much, much bigger and better. And Blade Runner was great. Blade Runner was great.
For example, there was a Steven Spielberg movie, Tom Cruise, I think, acted, Minority Report.
Oh, yes.
A Minority Report is a short story, normally. It's not a novel. It's a short story, again, from Philip K. Dick. But they wrote down a scenario for a movie, and the movie was not a huge blockbuster.
Oh, I liked it.
But it was a good movie, and when you compare the movie with the short story, movie is much more better.
That movie was crazy. I liked it. I saw it again just recently, and I guess it wasn't a blockbuster, but I loved it. I loved it. It was a good movie. It had a lot of actors in it that I like a lot. So it was a good job. They did a good job. You're right. No, I haven't.
Also, another Philip K. Dick's short story. I don't know, it's a novel or short story. There was a movie, and also remake the movie again a couple of years ago. What was the name? Just try to remember. I think Colin Farrell acted last time, and the original one acted by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Wait a second. No, I'm a big Arnold fan too, so.
Really?
Oh, yes. Yes, I love him. I love him. I noticed just yesterday that, what is that Mars movie that he did?
I shouldn't forget the name.
I'm with you, but I forget everything. I forget everything. Total Recall. Total Recall,
yes, Total Recall
is on one of my stream services.
Yes. I think, I'm not sure, but as I remember, it was also a short story.
I don't know. I haven't read the original, but it's on my service. And I was thinking just last night, it's so funny you brought that up, because just last night, I'm going to watch it again. It's been too long. I'm going to watch it again.
Which one?
Total Recall.
The new version?
No, the old
new version
one.
Or the Arnold version?
Oh, the old
one. Old one.
I love the older ones. Those are the classics. They're good.
Yes.
I made fun
it's
of
also
Dallas.
Philip K. Dick's story.
I made fun of the show Dallas, but I like the old 90s movies and 80s movies. I like that they had.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Normally, what do you do for living in Dallas? English teaching?
Well, no, not English, but recreation. recreations with very young children. So swimming,
Ah,
but it's not, these are like 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds. So they're not swimming laps, but they're learning to exercise and have fun.
perfect. I have a 2-year-old son.
So then you know what it must be like. It's if you try to teach him to swim, it's not professional swimming, but it's a lot of fun.
Actually, no. I just throw him to see and just watch him what he can do.
Make sure they don't drown. That's it. Exactly. Well,
he like water.
Most
water
of
a
them
lot.
do. Yes, most of them do, and very rarely, you know how children can be. If one starts screaming, they all get terrified. So we have to make sure they have fun. We have toys, and we just try to get them in the water. And
I think we should make different schedules later, and maybe I can learn something from you.
maybe your son and I too. But how old? You said he's 2?
Yeah, 2. Actually, 14th of April was his birthday.
Oh, so he's
and
so young.
just 2 days ago, he just being 2.
That's wonderful. That's a wonderful age. So you're seeing they grow so quickly. They grow so quickly.
Yes.
And they learn so much so quickly.
Today he started jumping on a trampoline.
Oh.
And all day we played together. I'm so tired today. We jumped together on a trampoline and after some time, like 2 hours or 3 hours, I was finished, exhausted, but he was continue.
Yes.
His energy never finished.
It never gets any better either, or any easier. I should say it never gets easier. I thought that maybe as they got older, they calmed down. And I have a niece who's 10. And if I'm with her for just a few hours, 2 hours, I need a nap. I can't deal with her for more than 2 hours. It's exhausting. By the time, I mean, she's just running circles, even at 10. And I'm thinking, shouldn't you be, go read a book or something, calm down. But no, they love to play.
People, especially me, I realized after I got a son, a baby son, that how my parents' business was difficult.
Oh yeah.
And I started to feel more respectful to them.
Absolutely.
After having a baby.
Absolutely. I'm sure. And I don't have children yet, but I do want children. And I already know what you mean just from my experiences, because you're absolutely right. Just even like I said about my niece, it makes me wonder, are you ready to do that? Are you ready to be full time?
You should have a baby.
Oh, I want to. Because, I love children.
Because why you have much?
I think they're wonderful.
Yes.
It's wonderful to be a parent too. You should be you're very fortunate, and congratulations is what I was going to say about your son, because he's still very young. So you're still a new parent. I know it's been 2 years, but it's still new.
It's like 20.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you will be. They're still your baby for so long, for so long. And so congratulations. But that's who I work with. I work with children your son's age, teaching them how to swim, recreations, just have fun in the water and exercise. So sometimes a little older, up to about 5. So we just try to teach the importance of activity.
How many children do you study? Do you work with at the same time?
The most is 12.
20?
12, and there's 2 of us because we have to be careful in the water.
12 children.
2 teachers and 12 children, so six children around us in the water. Because very often they have to wait. They have to wait for us to spend time with them in the water alone, one-on-one. So unless they are a certain age, when they're 5, we let them all get in the water at the same time. But when they're 2, we don't do that. We stay there with them. And sometimes they panic.
It's so difficult.
Some of them do not like to swim. They don't like to swim. But the parents get to be there. They're in another room outside of the pool, and there's a glass wall. They can see us, but they get to stay dry, and they stay in the chairs and watch. So it's a lot of fun. Usually everyone loves the time, and they enjoy themselves. No, I also...
It's a good job.
It is. I love it.
I think it's very difficult, especially the responsibility is so high, because especially at the age of 2 or 3, it was very difficult to control, but it's a respectful job.
Well, thank you. And it's amazingly fun. It is exhausting. So just like you said, playing with your son. But I like that kind of exhaustion. And by the end of the day, I feel happy. You've had a great time with a bunch of children. Most of the time, if someone's upset, we get them to have a good time. So that's a lot of fun. I like making kids smile and making them have a good time.
You are preparing these children to life, and one thing you do better, maybe give one of them an enthusiasm about enthusiasm.
Oh, enthusiasm. Yes,
enthusiasm for swimming, and maybe 15 years later, one of them will be an Olympic champion.
I hope so.
Who would know?
But we also go over...
Just because of your acting.
I hope so. And we also make sure to go over safety, which is so important with water. So even starting very, very young, making sure to instill safety in them, that they know they need to be safe and be careful. And those rules, we don't want to scare any children, but they're
in the beginning of any activity, teacher's role is so important. Teachers are so important for these kind of children. Exactly. One important thing you do, maybe give him or her a good feeling about swimming, and maybe he or she will continue and develop and improve themselves, himself or herself. And then maybe, as I mentioned, he or she can be a record breaker. Who knows?
That would be wonderful. I appreciate that so much. You speak very highly of what I do. So
it's important. Teaching is maybe the most important thing, because it's like a flag race. You teach children, and these children grows, and then some of them teach other children, and this is as humankind. This is how we develop, how we improve ourselves.
Someone once compared it to, and I liked this comparison. They talked about gardening. And when you garden, you plant seeds that hopefully you try to grow, and that you may not even take care of it. They may still grow. But I like to look at it like that. We plant these seeds in their minds. And so either they enjoy themselves and they may learn something that's important. The most important are those safety measures, because very young children, they can harm themselves with water, with pools. So if at the very least, I love the idea that we teach them to be very, very safe, and maybe you prevent some accident in the future. But otherwise, I like having a good time with them. So like you said, I get to go have a good time for work, and that's fine with me. I enjoy it. So it's a dream job. And then so is this. I get to talk to new people around the world. Like you said.
What about the situation about Corona in Dallas?
Well, it's very good
because
in Dallas.
A huge city.
Yes, and it is a huge city, but it's very good. We don't have that many infections, and we don't have that many deaths.
Mm-hmm.
So it is very, very good as far as I'm concerned. But things like my recreation, all of that is shut down. So I'm at home and just enjoying myself and watching TV, watching movies, reading. I garden, and we try to entertain ourselves at home, and we're doing a pretty good job. It's not too bad here. So, and that's what I was going to ask you is, how has it affected you? But we only have about a minute and a half left. So let me ask you, other than that, do you have any questions for me?
No, in Turkey, the situation is not so good.
No.
For example, for this weekend, everything's shut down, and after midnight, it started to ban us not to go outside. There's a word in English about it, but I forgot. Let me find.
We have a curfew.
Yes, for just weekend.
Oh, I see. It's for the weekend. That's the same thing we're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's curfew. Last weekend also there was a curfew, and this weekend, and probably next 2-3 weekends.
It's very strict. They're having to be very strict.
Yes.
And it's unfortunate. It's going to keep happening. We still do have people that are becoming sick. So our government is getting more and more strict as well, because people are ignoring it. But it's about to hang up on me, okay? So it was nice to meet you.